Sneaking onto another player's ship in starcitizen and taking their life, their cargo, and their ship. That is exactly what you're going to see here in this video. So welcome back to the Manni town here with two separate infiltrations going on. First, Gajek alone here against a small group of players, and then later in a full multi-crew operation against an entire group of players who had anti-air ground vehicles to cover the area, snipers set up, multiple ships in the area, and we took them out with our ships and stole everything. So that's coming up now. So the beginning was always the same. First, using the Eclipse stealth bomber to park around 1.5 kilometers out of detection range and then make it on foot all the way over there. And thankfully nobody was there running around at the moment he arrived. He was able to sneak quietly on board the ship and hide in the toilet. It's right, he's actually hiding in the freaking toilet of the ship. And shortly after he arrived here safely, he heard the tractor beam engaging and disengaging outside, which means they're still transporting goods. And what he's waiting for is for the pilot to take off, right? This is his moment, and then he's golden. So then he heard the ramp closing, and shortly after he was thrown over by the G-forces of the ship accelerating, right? That means the pilot is taking off. He's leaving orbit, and as soon as the quantum jump engages, that's the moment to engage. Because in that very moment, the player is alone. Even if he has other players with their ships ready to assist, in this very moment he is alone. And that is right now. So he makes it all the way front into the cockpit when the quantum jump engages, and now he's trying to shoot the pilot. But it seems like from this angle, it's not really possible. And the pilot may have thought there's a sound glitch going on because he doesn't think there was an enemy on board. And on the left side, my friend was able to shoot the arm of the enemy player. Now, so the enemy player is now incapacitated, or perhaps even already dead. Nope, now he's dead. He was first in cap, now he's completely dead. And from this moment on, he needs to make the cockpit free. Because for all we know, at this moment, this player was alone on the ship, yes, but who knows if he has more players in other ships, you know, about to defend him and come to his location. Though the thing is, as soon as he is fully dead, I don't think his teammates would get a marker for his location. But to be on the safe side, he engages the quantum jump in the first direction he can find. And if you're wondering how it would feel for you if you did such a thing and what went through your mind, then hear his reaction now. That is exactly the relief and this joy that you would feel after for this long time hiding in the toilet, you know, walking such a long distance, planning the entire action, you know, and then having it work out in the end. This is probably also how you would feel when you did that. And so he also now, to be on the safe side, disposes of the body because who knows if because the player who died probably gets a location marker for his dead body, and that is also a giveaway for for where the ship might be. So he's just throwing out the body here at the ramp and also taking the helmet off just to be sure, but I'm pretty sure the dude is already dead. And the player said, "Gajek!" My friend is called Gajek, and he realized who he got killed by, and he answered or wrote in the chat, "Gajek, how dare you!" Because you have to understand, this player has been down there, probably unloading and loading the drugs for like 45 minutes or an hour. Gajek has spent at least the same amount of time preparing his action here. So now, for one of those two players, it has worked out pretty well. For the other, not so much. What we're doing now, we're flying to the station, Seraphim station, where you could give back the drugs and sell them during the Jumptown event. And so now Gajek was about to unload all of these drugs and then go and sell them. And in case you're feeling bad for the Wanderer, which is the player that my friend Gajek here screwed over in this situation, you might be happy to hear that all those drugs here have a value of about 300k during the event, and we gave him the money back because I felt bad. I overheard the thing in the chat, and also Gajek felt a little bad, so he gave him 150k. I gave him the other 150k. Guy said, this is awesome, he didn't expect that. And so we were all really happy for the experiences made, and everybody still got their piece, right? But this is only one of 2 actions that you'll see in this video, because this is in fact the small action here where we only got 300k. How about we get more than that? How about we get about more than 1 million and screw a team even more with an entire team of ours? How does that sound to you? Well, that's exactly what comes next. Okay, so yeah, here we go. I just wrote him in German that I'm schicking him something else, right? And altogether the guy got all 300k and he was super happy. Yeah, so you see he's using his Eclipse again at 2 kilometers. He's getting as close as he can, once more, to the Jumptown event. About 2 kilometers, he wants to do it a safe way, right? To make sure there is not one radar contact for a split second before he turns off his machine. And now he's gonna have to run a little bit. And when he arrived there, he saw the operation going, and that was a multi-crew operation. There was the Taurus, the constellation Taurus or Taurus, already there. They had a Pisces in the air, just searching the area for potential threats, you know. They even had, and this is crazy, these guys were really prepared. They even had a Storm anti-air tank sitting on top of the rocks in the behind there. Obviously, we didn't know any of this, but Gajek made it again to the ship in which the drugs are being stored, and you can see how much they already gathered. It is insane. These guys must have been at it for at least an hour, but this time 3 people or 4 working on this in hand, right? Obviously, having a lot more faster progress. And then Gajek found himself in this situation where he couldn't get inside the ship, right? It was not possible because the instruments on the ship wouldn't respond to his inputs. So you have no control over the elevators and stuff on a hostile or an other player's ship. So what we ended up doing is getting creative, right? We brought our team in, and you see they're running around there. Gajek is even firing at them. But in his excitement, he missed a lot of these shots. The others now know that they're under attack. Something is going on, but they don't quite know where the enemy is. They don't know exactly what's going on. So Gajek is still hiding here under the shield dome protection of the Taurus, still trying to close the ramp. I don't know, maybe, my idea is maybe he could have just fired at the ramp, right? Shooting the ramp with 2 max should it not have raised the elevator up? I think it might have. Or do you only open elevators by shooting them? Can you also close them by shooting them? I think you can. But in any case, you see what's going on right here. My team has arrived, and we're taking out the entire area around here. The Storm AA tank is in the uphill there, opening fire constantly at Blade, our other friend who's currently there. And Blade in turn is returning fire. There you actually see the anti-air tank there defending. And these things are dangerous because they have a decent amount of damage output and they have a tiny signature. You have to get really close to them to even understand where they are and to be able to lock onto them. Under this little tower is our other friend who's already about to infiltrate the operation going inside of Jumptown. And now we still have this problem of getting inside the ship. So Gajek tried, after we secured the area, he tried to jump on, it didn't work. So the solution was to bring in Blade's F7A Mark II here and the Hornet. Oh wow, Gajek just got sniped. He took a shot. He was on the Hornet, and Blade is now very carefully moving the Blade the ship forward over the constellation so that Gajek can get in from up top on the docking collar on top, right? And Gajek just got a sniper shot in his arm or whatever, yeah, he made it. So now we're on the ship. He's immediately trying to shoot open the hatch to get in. And you see some shield polarization on the Taurus is because somebody is trying to shoot him, but the shield of the ship was protecting him actually now. And so there we go, now he made it into the cockpit. Again, I do want to ask, what if he had just, this is another one of our guys on the ground, by the way, if you saw the person running. What if he had just opened fire at the lower elevator, a bunch of magazines? Would it not have closed automatically then? And he could have taken off. But yeah, so that's another question for another time. We found a different creative solution by using the wings of the ship and then slowly but surely hovering him over there so he can jump onto the Taurus and take it. And this time we've made a lot more money, ladies and gents, than the 300k that we saw in the first one. And because this time we screwed over an entire team of players who had everything prepared. They had anti-air defense in form of ground vehicles. They had loading personnel. They had defense snipers on top of the building. But you have to understand, it was dark and there's a large area to cover. To see a tiny person sneaking in, yo, this you have to be lucky to actually get this part, right? And now it's time to unload, which I'm gonna make a little shorter for you here. If you enjoyed this video, you want to see more awesome Star Citizen gameplay and also news and updates, stay tuned here on the channel, subscribe, and then I catch you in the next video. So, unloading begins. I'm gonna obviously skip towards the end. All of this here was around, I believe, 1.5 million or something, or maybe 1.8. I'm not exactly sure what the number was, again, because unfortunately Gajek didn't have this on video, but yeah, what do you think about this? Alright, let me know in the event. And by the way, what this is a PvP event, right? So if you're doing Jumptown, you have to be prepared for other players interfering. You're transporting drugs, you're potentially yourself kind of criminal unless you give it to the authorities and stuff, but you have to expect player versus player engagements. It's a PvP event, literally. So I don't think anybody here feels terrible for getting attacked by other players. That's really what this is all about. I feel like this is okay, even though we're not necessarily a pirating group, but in this PvP event, man, you know, it's all things go. So yeah, thanks for watching, catch you in the next one, and Manni signing off. Bye-bye, my friends. And also thanks to Gajek for sending in the video material and my entire rest of the team for handling this so well.